The thing about Chelsea is life is never boring.
Hey chaps, welcome back to properchels.tv, your one-stop Chelsea news channel. I'm your host, as always, Logan Blue. And today we get to dive into the match day 2 game between Panathinaikos and Chelsea. Now, this was great. This was, a walk in the park, as it turned out, as far as Chelsea are concerned. For the first 10 minutes, we were under the cosh. They looked very much up for it and were the team I was kind of expecting them to be. But and they nearly scored, a minute and a half in from that free kick. And Jorgensen made a great save, like a really, really good save. So that was heartening. Otherwise, we have a team that's 1-0 down, and we have a crowd that's against us. So I still think we would have won, even if that had gone in. But it would have made it a much harder game because they would have had some belief. But yeah, so we go 1-0 up on 21 minutes, and that was Dewsbury Hall winning the ball in the middle of the park. He was really, well, not really poor, but he was wayward with his passing at the beginning of the match, but really got into it as the game wore on. But he lofts the ball towards Felix, who gets the all important header behind him. Then, of course, Mudryk runs in on it, waits for the run from Felix in a scrum of players, the perfect pass on a plate. Thank you very much. 1-0 to the Chels, which was great to see. Possibly could have got some more in the first half, but yeah, clear-cut chances were hard to come by. Although we were very much, very much in command of the ball, of the game, of it looked like a training match for a big chunk of the game. In the second half, they came out, with a bit of pep in their step, as you say, but yeah, never really threatened us, to be honest with you. Second goal, Neto, Dewsbury Hall to, again, Dewsbury Hall just not making the key pass, but making the pass that leads to the key pass. So it's very much like he's a cog in a wheel type of player, as opposed to the guy who's necessarily getting all the flowers for doing something at the end of the move. He's an integral part of the move itself. So he's often overlooked by observers of his performances. But yes, so Neto, who was really quiet in the first half, was again quite poor, just going backwards instead of taking on his man, just backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways. By the time he did actually go forward, lo and behold, he beats the man and he has a cross to the back post where we have Mudryk, of all people, popping up on the back post and getting a header. Like, not exactly his strong suit, but yeah, he was there. He headed it down, which you always get taught as a striker to head the ball down if you can, as it's much harder to save. Yeah, and 2-0 up, so it was great. Then Mudryk to Felix, a little simple pass from Mudryk, but he'll claim the assist. And Felix gets, what is it, 54 minutes? Yeah, 54 minutes, we get the third. Again, so straightforward, so easy. Their keeper had no chance because of the deflection. But as I always say, I always say, as the saying goes, you always miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So yeah, have a shot across the bow, chance your arm, and sometimes you get lucky. And Felix got lucky, and we were 3 up. Felix was involved again on 56 minutes. Like on 56 minutes, we were just we could have got 2 or 3 at this stage. If we really wanted to put the foot on the gas, we could have done. But a nice little sort of inside of the right boot cross into the penalty area from Felix. Hits the defender's arm, who is outside of his normal body shape. And Nkunku slots home the penalty. I will say, at this point, I don't know about you. I understand, strikers are greedy and they want the goals themselves. But if I were Nkunku, and I was playing in that match against Panathinaikos, and we were winning by a considerable distance, and there was no chance we were going to lose the game. Even if I was the designated penalty area, if one of my teammates is on 2 goals, like Felix, I would have gone up to him and said, "Here you go, son. Fill your boots." Why? Why wouldn't you do that? Just getting a hat trick is a rare thing. So I would have very much liked to have seen a bit of team spirit from Nkunku then. But yeah, he's a selfish striker, and that's a trait that strikers need. So I get it. And it was a devastating penalty, in the corner. Even if the keeper had gone the right way, which he didn't, he wasn't saving that one. So that's 4-0 up. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Yeah, and Nkunku scored again with laser pointers. So it's just so annoying when they do that. Obviously, it could blind someone if you get a laser pointer in your eye for an extended period of time. So yeah, it should be outlawed. It should be CCTV. Find the person, ban them for life. Then suddenly nobody brings a laser pointer in to the ground anymore. But yeah, then we brought on. We took off a couple of strikers. We brought on a couple of younger strikers. And Tariq George looked very lively, if very raw. But he wanted to have a go, and he had a go, and he made a nuisance of himself. Made the keeper, make a couple of saves, and again, great. I love that. Just have a crack at your defender. Just annoy the crap out of him and get some shots across the bow. You don't shoot, you don't score. And he didn't score, but he played very well. Mark Gui didn't really have anything to do. I mean, he was there in the centre forward position, but he hardly had a touch. The ball hardly got to him. He was well marshalled by the defenders. I think he's quite naive in his positioning at the minute. So yeah, I mean, but no criticism against the kid. He's 18, and he just it didn't even have a half chance. So, but it was good to see some youngsters getting a run out. And then, as always happens with this Chelsea team, because our defenders are not very good, we conceded. Now, it was Badiashiel's fault. If you watch the replay of that, the guy, doesn't even sneak in at the back post. Like, he literally just saunters in on the back post, and Badiashile just doesn't look over his shoulder, has no positional awareness, and just stops halfway across the 6-yard box. Why? Why? Are you playing some offside trap by yourself at the end of that move? Really? That's why you stopped? Or were you just a bit puffed? Yeah, a bit puffed. So yeah, it was rubbish defending from Badiashile, who up to that stage had quite a good game. Yeah, and it could have gone from bad to worse as far as the scoreline goes, if not the result. Vega, hacked, who again was great. Hacked the ball, and that nearly went in, so we were a bit lucky there. And then Jurgensen, who had looked solid, during the match, has a big old flap and gets into a confusion and confuzzlement with the defender at the near post, and almost concedes a goal based on his idiotic goalkeeping. And we literally, we have Sanchez, who is our number one, who is a half decent shot stopper, but and quite commanding as far as crosses, which is good, but has a brain fart in him every single match. Right? It may or may not cost us a goal, but it's coming. And every time he's playing with the ball at his feet, which he's supposedly good at, we always go, heart in mouth. Now, all of us want Jurgensen to be Courtois or Czech or the new number one keeper, but he just doesn't seem to be up to it. He seems a decent backup, but if you're a decent backup to Sanchez, who in my mind is just a backup himself, yeah, it doesn't speak volumes for our goalkeeping scouting department, because There's no Cole Palmer in the goalkeeping department as far as I can see, because the ones we've bought, we've got about 9 keepers. Did you know that? Literally, Chelsea have about 9, no, 8. I think Paris Saint-Germain had, PSG had 9 goalkeepers on their books at one stage. We've got, I think, 8 goalkeepers on our books, and none of them are good enough for the first team. So until we sort that out, I don't think we're winning any titles anytime soon. So that was the game. Some thoughts. We had it easy, but you can only beat the team that's in front of you, and we did it well. We conceded again, which was annoying because it'd be nice to get a clean sheet. I think Enzo made 11 changes on the Liverpool match, so that's incredible that we can field such a strong team to beat a good team. Like, they're 6th in the Greek league, so they're not like going all guns blazing in their own league, but they're a solid team, and certainly a team with a rich history. But it was like a training run, so easy peasy, unanimous squeezy, roll on Newcastle. Yeah, there's not much more to say than that. Oh, one little thing I will say is about the camaraderie, and that's in relation to Dewsbury Hall again. Now, if you watch the highlights of this game, or any of the games where Dewsbury Hall has played, notice how he is one of the first people, if not the first person, to congratulate somebody who scores or who does something well for the team. Right? He's kind of like the he's part quarterback, I guess, because that's why he was a star for the Leicester team in the championship, right? Obviously, stepped up another level. We understand that, so he's not getting in the first team. He's going to be a rotational squad player. That's fine. But I really like the cut of his jib. I like the fact that he's a team player. I love players who A, put in a shift, and B, care about their teammates. Like, genuinely care about their teammates. And you can see it written on his face, right? And if somebody does something wrong, he's the one giving like some advice or a pat on the shoulder, saying, it's all right, you get the next one, right? We need that. We need that. And there are little cliques within Chelsea where players obviously play really well with each other, and they get on well with each other, and I suspect everyone pretty much gets on with everyone by the looks of the team camaraderie generally. But within it, there are always cliques within any dressing room. But yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Dewsbury Hall for a decent performance, right? So he's not man of the match. That would have been obviously Mudryk, right? Who was the 2 assists and 1 goal. Or if not him, it would have been Felix with 2 goals. Right? But there was a lot of decent performances throughout this match, but decent performances against Panathinaikos. So yeah, another win. We move on to the next round, and we're top of the Conference League. Make of that what you will. But okay, thanks for that, guys. Brilliant. 4-1 to the Chels. Yeah, love it.
Okay, then, that's all the news that's fit to print, and quite a bit that isn't. As always, thank you again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and God bless, look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.